but that's more rare than a woman who naturally would be more inclined to be connected to her emotion. You know what I mean? Like we just have differences, and that's what we're just exploring. You know. She's not crying.
What y'all doing?
We're talking to people on the streets.
About what?
Hello, and welcome to The Ordeal. Today I want to discuss this video by Sasha Second. I don't know Sasha Second. This is the only video I've ever seen of his, but I found it really interesting, and I found it to very well demonstrate many of the issues that I've had to deal with. So let's take a look at it here.
Excuse me, miss. Hello. Hi. Can you tell me what we've missed here? Because it looks like something great happened, and we just showed up now. What's going on here?
Yeah, we're in acting class, and we've chosen political speeches that we admire, and we've taken them to the park to give to the public and practice just spreading the words that we find passionate and powerful. Yeah.
That's great. I was wondering what was going on because she's up there and people, all these people, and I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Can we ask you a really quick question for a little video? Just whatever comes to your mind naturally. What would you say? Can you name some things women just have a knack for more so than men?
Probably compassion and empathy and generosity of heart. Yeah.
So notice how quickly she answered that question. And we're going to compare to how quickly she answers the same question directed towards men.
That's not a lot of people go with that. And what comes to your mind if I say what would you say men are better at than women?
I don't know. A lot. I think both have their pluses and minuses. I think men are better at probably guarding themselves.
Okay, so it took her much longer to answer the question, what are men better at than women? And then she comes up with this, I don't even know what guarding themselves, I don't even know what that means. Is she talking about guarding themselves emotionally, guarding themselves physically, guarding themselves socially, guarding themselves economically? What does she mean when she says guarding? Does it even mean what everybody else thinks that it means? Like, I'm protecting myself from outside influence. Who knows what she could be thinking that the word guarding means. And so I don't understand what she's even saying in this statement. It doesn't make any sense to me. What are men better at? I don't know. Guarding themselves? Yeah, she has no answer because this is the problem. She doesn't think that men are in any way better than women. Okay? And I'm not saying that men overall are better than women, or women are overall better than men. They just have certain things that they're better at. Let's see what else she has to say here. For somebody who's not starting up, let's press play.
Yeah.
Not so good with the emotions. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Yeah. Well, they're good at a lot of things, but that's
Nothing that you can think of right now.
no, that's just the one that came up. Yeah. Yeah.
Notice right there she's being very
like muscle stuff.
Oh, I just want to be like have a polite conversation, be nice and smile and be friendly and be open. So I think she's trying to avoid getting into a confrontation. That's probably an admirable quality, but we'll see this play out throughout the rest of the video here.
Usually we're pretty good at muscles.
Muscle stuff?
Like strength.
Sure.
That's an easy one. That's a go-to one.
Oh, I think women are good at that too. Yeah.
But like as a tendency, generally speaking, women are more connected to the emotions, but men are usually a little bit more muscly.
I think that's been the stereotype, but I think that's definitely changing. Yeah.
So that's a stereotype to her. That is really, really amazing. This person here thinks that being more muscular as a man is a stereotype. not a physical reality.
You know.
I think women genetically are catching up to men in strength.
Yeah, I think the emphasis on men having to be so strong and like that sort of stereotype, I think that's going down.
You think that it's an emphasis on men being strong, or men just are naturally just stronger because of their genetics?
Oh, interesting.
She actually has to think about that. Men are naturally stronger than women. And yes, men do not have to be as strong as we had to be in the past because we have machines now. We have machines to do a lot of the heavy lifting, so men don't have to be as physically capable as we used to have to be. Um, so yeah, that's changing in the sense that we have technology to help us do jobs that which require a lot of muscle power. But it's still the fact that men have more muscle than women do, on average.
I think women are just as strong as men.
What? She thinks women are just as strong as men.
Physically?
Yeah, I do.
But they're not though, right? They're not. Like, look at this. I'm a normal dude. Look at my size. I'm just bigger.
Look at her face. She's like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I mean, I'm no body language expert, but if anybody out there listening to this video who is a body language expert, please tell me if I'm interpreting her facial expressions incorrectly here. But she's just like, where the hell does this guy get off? Women are not weaker than men. Are you crazy?
Right? So I'm gonna have more muscle. That's a normal. It's just how it is. It's not.
Not all men.
No, there are of course exceptions, right?
Yes, not all men. Okay, let me explain something to you. I weigh less than the average American woman. A lot less. Let's take a look here. The average American woman weighs over 165 pounds. I weigh 145 pounds. I weighed myself yesterday. I'm stronger than most women. By far. I can bench press like 150 pounds. How many women do you know who do? I can do pull-ups. I can do a lot of pull-ups. How many women do you know who can even do one pull-up? Right? So even though I weigh less than most women, I am stronger than most women. So I'm technically smaller, but I'm stronger than most women. So men have muscle mass. She doesn't understand this. She doesn't get this. And this is what is such a huge issue in our society today, that women do not understand that there are differences between the genders. Nothing bad about that. That's just the fact. Let's keep watching.
Of course, there's men who are like this tall, and you could just slap them and beat them up with one hand. But generally speaking, of course, there's men who are intuitive and very emotional and in their hearts and very good at connecting with their emotions too. But that's more rare than a woman who naturally would be more inclined to be connected to her emotion. You know what I mean? Like
She's just in disbelief right now. That's what it looks like to me. Judging by her facial expression, she's just like, what the hell is this guy talking about? How dare he say these things?
we just have differences, and that's what we're just exploring. You know.
Yeah, and look at that. She's just like, oh yeah, you're crazy. You're a crazy person. You can't say these things. They're just not. You're not in touch with reality. But the fact of the matter is, she's not in touch with reality. And that little smile there is saying, yeah, you're a jerk, and I don't like you, and I don't want to get into a confrontation with you, so I'm just going to smile politely and nod and try to get out of this conversation as soon as I possibly can. Again, correct me if I'm wrong in interpreting her facial expressions.
We just find it really interesting how people are scared to say that we're different. I think it's okay to say that we're different. We all have our things that we're good at. Doesn't mean any sex is superior, but we're just different. We're just not the same. You know.
I think it's just the word strong is a difficult one to apply to this because it's like saying women aren't strong.
We're only talking about physical strength. We're not talking like overall strength or goodness or any of those things. Just physically. That's all it was.
Yeah, I think I get that. But I'm just questioning if there's another word that might, make it easier for people to say yes or no to that,
I don't know. What's another good word for strong?
No, that's what I'm proposing is.
It's a good word though. Strong. Strong is the word. Strong. Look at that. Look at that. That's strong. So yeah, that's that. But don't you think it's interesting though that like that you yourself you kind of struggled when we asked what are men better at? You kind of it was a struggle. It was like there was some part of you that didn't want to admit that.
Because you don't want to go towards the, well, I don't want to go towards the like
Well, she caught herself there. Now, maybe that was an honest mistake. I don't know. But she said, you don't want to, see, saying, implying that the whole world does not want to have these stereotypes. And then she caught herself and said, well, I don't want to do that. Which is good that she's aware that this is her issue. At least she might not be fully aware of that, but she does have some awareness there going, well, no, this is the way that I think, actually, and I shouldn't put that onto somebody else. That's good. But but this also ties into her saying that society is putting these social pressures on us to be men and to be women. Well, those social pressures allowed us to develop the greatest countries this world's ever seen by far. We put men on the moon. We put air conditioning in every home in this country. Having those societal systems in place. So let's see what happens when those things break down, which they're starting to break down. They've been breaking down for like the last 50 years, so we'll see.
for masculinity and like feed into that sort of like, box that men are put in, and there's a box women are put in, and so I think it's a challenging time to be like, what,
Well, here's what I think. I think by admitting that we're different, but ultimately we're just we're just two halves of one coin, right? Like we need each other, we love each other. So for real happiness and joy and peace to happen on the planet, we need to accept that we're different, but not see any one side as superior or better. Just that we're just different, and then we accept those differences. We love each other. We come together, and we make beautiful babies. That's what I think.
Are you asking if I agree or?
Well, no, that's just what I think. But do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that everyone's different. I think, yeah.
Do you?
Do I think everybody's different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says, yeah, that's really kind of one of her other beliefs that everybody's different, which is true. Everybody is different. But she's taking it to the extreme of you can't have a basic normality between the genders because everybody's different. And no, it's just true that men gravitate towards certain things and women gravitate towards other things. Women are allowed to do whatever they want to do. Men are allowed to do whatever they want to do, but you don't see many men doing certain things that women do. You don't see many women doing certain things that men do. Because we have differences physically, biochemically, we have differences. So it's nothing wrong with it. Like I've said many times, these differences make the world go round. So there you go. She just said, yeah, and we're done. And she basically, it's basically stated then that she got really upset and started crying. There's some confrontation, which we saw at the beginning of the video. Yeah, this is such a big problem that we need to understand that, men and women are different. Women don't have to do everything that men do. Women do not have to excel in business. They don't have to. And men don't have to either, but that is more the area of male dominance. Men are the ones designed to go out and conquer the beast, to bring home the bacon, as it were. That's just how the sexes are built. Men are built to go out and do things and gather things and get things, and women are built to stay home and care for others, children especially. Nothing wrong with that. That is just the fact of life. In our modern society, there's a lot of systems we have in place, a lot of machinery, a lot of technology we have that allows us to move away from those social norms, those anthropological, cultural, societal, all those different, if you go into tribes, tribes people, that's how it works. The men go out, they get food. The women, they take care of the children. The women do things. They do have like chores and jobs that they do. Women have always worked in society. They've always worked. But to make that their whole life it's just like, do you want to be a mother or do you want to be a career woman? Really, you can't really do both well. You can only do one or the other. And this young lady here, I think, doesn't understand these basic biological differences which, that's just how it is. I'm not as heavy as most women in this country. Okay, that's how it is. I'm not as tall as most men in this country. Well, that's how it is. I can have surgery maybe, but that's just the reality that I have to live with every day of my life. I'm short. Okay, I can not like that all I want to, but to deny that fact is just mind-numbingly insane. How would you? I mean, I'm not short. No, I'm 5'11". No, I'm not. I'm definitely not 5'11". I can walk around saying that all day long. It's not true. And in fact, that would never be true given our current state of technology. I can't get my legs stretched that far. I'm not tall enough to get my legs stretched that far. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Please smash that subscribe button, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future.